Hello and welcome to the Beat LA podcast, the only podcast bringing you Bay Area sports from a Hollywood perspective, brought to you by two guys from San Francisco living in Hollywood, just trying to win the group chat. We talk Giants, 49ers, Warriors, movies, TV, pop culture, and the occasional life lesson that we learned the hard way. It's sports talk for creatives and creative talk for sports fans. My name is Matt Ferrucci, and I'm joined, as always, by a man who believes Rafael Devers refusing to leave a baseball game is more dramatic than the Knicks winning the title. Mr. Paul Rule. Paul, how you doing, man?
That's a good one, Matt. I think it's more dramatic. I just think that these San Francisco Giants have, sometimes it's fun to watch a train wreck too.
Yeah.
Giants are bad, but people are still interested. We're a national story over and over again, even though this, yeah. So,
Paul, what's up, man? You look good.
What do you say? The only difference is indifference or something like that. There's no indifference. Thanks, buddy. I'm feeling okay. You know? I'm feeling all right.
Yeah, you look good.
You look great, by the way.
Really?
I like this layer, this tech bro sort of vesty thing you got going on.
Well, it's in honor of SpaceX IPOing. Okay.
You have a little piece of that, man?
Hey, I can't say this on the pod, but
yeah.
You know what? Ferrucci knows some people. And also it's, the social reckoning. I don't know if you saw that trailer.
No.
Your boy, Kendall Roy, Jeremy Strong, is playing Mark Zuckerberg in this.
So it's like a sequel to The Social Network?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, Jeremy Strong's accent, unbelievable. Sounds just like Zuckerberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Zuckerberg even have an accent?
You didn't know until you saw the trailer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, Zuckerberg, why didn't just Jesse Eisenberg play him again?
He didn't, because he's getting stopped on the streets for the last 20 years going, and he doesn't like it.
Oh, interesting.
He didn't want to, lead into the narrative. Folks, welcome to the Beat LA podcast. We really appreciate you joining us on this show. It's our favorite thing to do. Paul, we got a new guy on the wheels of steel. We got Micah.
Micah. Welcome, buddy.
What's up, man?
What is up, everybody?
Look at him.
Tell us a little something about you, Micah.
Oh, man. Well, I was a musician up until this afternoon, but I've had a big career switch.
Yeah, and that was
look
at that. Look at that sense of humor.
We ruin everyone has to make a career switch when they show up.
Yeah.
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 Like our next.
No,
guest.
he's a Brazilian fan, but Brazil. And I'm not talking about the soccer team.
Oh wow, there we
go. Big Brazil fan. My dad's from São Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, very cool. I've been to Sao Paulo, Matt.
Have you?
Yeah, I played red clay court tennis in Sao Paulo, and I went to the horse track, and I won like $1 million reais or something. What's the currency?
When I went, it was that. I think it might have switched. They're having some political upheaval for the last 100 or so years.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, thanks for jumping into the plane with us. We appreciate it.
Perfect timing, because this is our World Cup episode.
World Cup episode. Awesome. Paul, before we even get to it, I wanted to bring this up. I think this podcast has magic powers because 2 weeks ago we did a pod, and the second we finished recording on Wednesday, Bryce Eldridge hit a grand slam, and the Giants pulled off the craziest comeback in 1,000 years, coming back from 9-1. The Knicks that afternoon came back from 29 points down and then won the title that weekend. And then the United States dismantled Paraguay, and they look like Brazil circa 94. I'm a little nervous to record today because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you could become the manager of the Giants.
By the way, I would do a better job. I really believe that. I know that one of the things we like about baseball is we think, we could be a manager, like, because you're just making decisions on like pinch hitting, things like that. I really think I could be the manager of the Giants. So thank you. I'll throw my resume in. But don't forget, Matt, what happened after that for like the 12 days since then. It's all gone to shit. So
sure, but I'm just saying the power of this pod. I mean, so many things happened after we record. The world changes.
That's true.
It's just where I'm trying to go with it.
Oh, for sure. So in the next 40, we'll drop this pod probably on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone listening should go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll get married.
Hey, I got a new corner for us to jump on real fast.
Really?
It's a little somber. It's called Pour One Out Corner.
Oh, God.
And I know some people died, and I just want to get your take in this. That sounds so morose. But Alan Greenspan, Clive Davis, my favorite one was Ogre from the Revenge of the Nerds past.
Your favorite one, so your Gladdy Pat?
I'm just saying he's getting some shine.
He's getting some shine.
Yeah.
And we have a guest coming on who will be talking about another passing in my world, the half-hour television world.
Jim Burrows,
Jim Burrows, who I worked with, not as much as our guest who's coming on in a few minutes, but a genius. We will never see his like again because he was literally the most successful half-hour TV comedy director ever. And they don't really make that many of those anymore. Alan Greenspan, they refer to him as the maestro. But he also oversaw the financial crisis and got a lot of, you don't really necessarily want that on your epitaph. And Ogre, I don't know Ogre's name, but I'm sure he was a wonderful man.
Well, Clive Davis, Clive Davis's party, Grammy party, you went a couple times. It's incredible.
So I was reading the New York Times newsletter I get, and I was reading this morning, and they said Clive Davis died at 94, and he discovered apparently Springsteen went into he saw a private audition with Springsteen where he signed him, with Janis Joplin, Whitney Houston. And they said, read his obit. It's a banger.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many people, your obit is a banger?
Yeah. No, that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
I'm worried mine won't be. I got a lot of work to do.
I'm writing it.
Years.
I'm writing it. And it's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna write your obit. Hey, can we as an homage to these gentlemen, let's cut to a clip from Revenge of the Nerds.
Get those nerds! Nerd!
Hopefully it's not the end clip where he's wearing a Darth Vader mask.
No, he wasn't.
And she's like, are all nerds as good as you?
No, that's Rick Moranis. He's still alive.
There was a lot of non-consensual sex that happened in 80s.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds
comedies.
wouldn't be made today. Can't make Revenge of the Nerds today.
Candles too.
Yeah.
16 Candles has one of those moments. Yeah. Anyway.
Let me do some housekeeping, Paul.
Okay. So
all right. Thanks for joining the BLA podcast. You can watch and listen to the pod on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and most recently, iHeartRadio. Follow and subscribe. Wow. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Send it to the group chat, folks. Today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Pawn Shop Sports Bar. Not the pawn shop where you unload your ex's jewelry after a bad breakup. This is the sports bar Los Angeles has literally been waiting for. Opening this weekend at Melrose and Cahuenga. Food from James Beard Award-winning chef Tony Messina, just in time for the World Cup. Pawn Shop Sports Bar. Let's fucking literally go, Paul.
It's happening, man. It's opening. I'm actually, Matt, you and I are they've invited us as our sponsors.
Yeah.
Tonight we're doing a little tasting there. Gonna give a little feedback.
Yeah.
Get as much free alcohol as we can get down our gullets.
Yeah.
And no, it's very exciting. There's a lot of publicity happening on social media right now. If you live in LA, I'm sure you're seeing it. Mark Cuban is one of the investors, and there's a lot of fun stuff happening with it.
Mark Cuban, Mike Tyson, did he invest?
I don't know if Mike Tyson invested.
You don't know if Mike Tyson
invested? I don't know.
I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony invested.
Interesting. Floyd Mayweather,
yeah,
he just got arrested for trying to cash a false check for $250,000. He was buying a watch.
A watch?
You don't think he's got $250,000?
I mean, who knows?
Maybe he bet it all on Pawn Shop.
Well, he's got Bertie Madoff's nephew.
Anyway, we're going to have some caviar-infused hot dog or some fucking thing tonight. It's going to be delicious.
God. Paul, we got a great show today. World Cup fever has officially taken over, and I'm injecting it directly into my veins, train spotting style. The United States looks better than they've ever looked in years. Pochettino is a miracle worker. Everyone's getting irrationally optimistic. So joining us will be our resident soccer expert, World Cup historian, and host of an American Game podcast, Mr. Kirk Rudell. Full World Cup mode today, Paul.
We're nothing if not bandwagoners. We're like, hey, fucking this thing's happening that every world's watching. How do we become part of that and take 1/1 of the audience away from it?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But before we get there, it's time for the Bay Area Sports Roundup. Cue the music.
BLA, let me hear you say BLA.
Paul, it couldn't get any worse.
Foreshadowing.
If it couldn't get any worse, it somehow did. Real Housewives, the dog patch continues. Since we recorded, Pride hat controversy, swept by Miami, and then yesterday, Rafael Devers refused to leave the game. Thoughts, Maestro?
I mean, where do we start, Matt? There's a part of me that's like, no one wants to listen to this. Let's stop talking about the Giants. But the interesting part is I've said this, we are national news because we're not just a train wreck. We are a franchise in crisis that is actually, people like to watch a tire fire. So apparently this thing about the pride hats is Rob Manfred came out and said that the Giants organization had miscommunicated or failed to communicate to the players their options related to the game. They didn't have to draw on their own hats. They could have worn non-pride hats and it would have been fine. No violation like Sam Henches did. The organization is not communicating with their players. Clearly, Vitello is finally losing the locker room. And this, I think that this Rafael Devers trade, he is a cancer. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And it's metastasizing. And I don't know what happens from here. The 1 year anniversary just happened, and they basically are a 100-loss team. They played about 100 games or 162 games, and I think they're like 68-93 or something like that. It's very bad, and I don't know how you fix it.
I used to play some organized ball back in the day. We've watched baseball our entire lives. I don't remember ever a real situation where a player refused like that, gave them a tumbo finger, and refused to come out of a game. And when he came out of the game, finally, did you see that look that Logan Webb threw him?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is your deal, brother?
Punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And famously from this thing, they said he dodged a butt tap. Jace Tingler.
Yeah.
Which sounds a little bit like a tingler sounds like literally somebody sticking.
Like a tickler.
Yeah, like somebody sticking their finger in your ass. And you go, hey, I'm going to give him a tingler, right?
Yeah, right.
So Tingler tried to tingle him.
Yeah.
And he like sashayed and like did like a fucking, what's the thing where you go underneath the thing?
Yeah.
The
samba, the mambo?
No, the pole. What's
the pole.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's who doesn't take a butt tap, Matt? I've never turned down a butt tap.
I've never turned down a butt tap.
Victory. Hey, come on, good game, slap ass, man. Hey, good game, slap ass.
I'll give you a butt tap after
Jesus,
this.
no, you won't.
Yeah, no, it'd be okay. Yeah, Paul, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not really sure, afterwards, Vitello, obviously people are debating how he handled it. I do agree that it was a great opportunity for him to, put his foot down.
Which I don't think he did.
But who knows what he did behind closed doors. I thought what he said to the media was very political.
Right.
I thought he diffused. I hope, my hope is in closed doors, he slammed a door, said no more lollygaggers, and gave Rafael Devers a tongue lashing.
You lollygag in and out of the dugout. Do you know what that makes you, Larry?
Lollygaggers.
Lollygaggers.
What I hate is that he doesn't talk to the media with his, English as a second language. It's funny because, listen, Shohei Ohtani always has a translator.
Right.
But then last week, there was a picture of him hanging out with Cameron Brink in the locker room, and he's making her laugh. So you could speak English when you need to speak English.
Sure, but he wants to make sure he doesn't say the wrong thing. And at least he has a translator. At least he's actually giving interviews through a translator. Devers doesn't talk to anyone about anything.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, the Red Sox, there's this guy, there's something wrong with this guy. He's not a team player.
Yeah.
He's not, and clearly, again, if you're going to pay somebody $300 million, they should have to give an occasional fucking interview, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy has officially become my least favorite Giant, and which is hard to do because you know how I feel about Willie Adames
And Aaron Rowand.
Aaron Rowand, or Mark Melanson.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of least favorite Giants, but it's just we have this guy for like another 7 years. What are they going to do? Everyone's like, oh, they're like, oh, they're looking to trade him. Nobody's trading for this guy.
Not unless we eat a huge chunk of that deal.
But even if even then, I mean, maybe you say, hey, he's a candidate for a change of scenery. But I just think he's outed himself as a bad teammate.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Micah, if you got paid $300 million, would you talk to the media?
I would not stop talking.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't get me to shut up.
Hey, do you think Buster?
I talk on this podcast. I don't get paid anything.
No, it's this is the Net Loss podcast, baby. At 4 a.m, when Buster's staring at the ceiling, do you think he regrets all of this?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, how could he not?
But not when I say all of this, like even taking the job.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I certainly think if he could do it again, that he wouldn't have done the Devers trade.
Yeah.
It's just they've now created this logjam. Basically, he's got a guy who's blocking the best prospect we've had since Buster himself,
right?
And Bryce Eldridge from playing a real position, and he's going to be blocked for a long time unless they can figure out some way to Tanya Harding the guy, and maybe get an insurance settlement.
Come on, what kind
of friggin' person bashes in their friend's knee? Who would do that to a friend?
I'm not advocating that anybody do that to Devers.
Point taken. At 4 a.m, when you're staring at the ceiling, what do you think about, Paul?
I think about this podcast. I think about getting a tingler.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. We should leave it at that.
Hey, Golden State Warriors, real quick. Paul, by the time our listeners are hearing this, the draft has already happened. It actually happens tonight. We're recording today on Tuesday. So we're going to look at our crystal ball and either be geniuses or idiots. Apparently, Paul, real quick, the Warriors tried to get out of the 11 pick, and they tried to trade with Charlotte to get the 14 and 18. They want to get a couple of picks. They said no. If you're the Warriors, this is who I'm thinking today. I know we talked about this last podcast. The guy I want them to drop to them is Braden Burries, point guard from Arizona. I know you've
been saying this, Matt.
This guy's built like Stephon Castle. This guy's thick and he strong.
But is that the guy that's gonna if this is the last dance? Is that the guy that helps you, who you want to be your dance partner for the last dance?
Great question. I still think we're trying to thread that needle where we have a guy who can contribute now and can also be with us for the next 12 years.
Yeah.
You know,
I still want Yaxel.
You want Yaxel Lindeborg or Ade Mara, this other 7-footer from Michigan, but apparently those guys might not be there because at the 9 pick is Dallas, and they hired, what's his name? Dustin May
who
from
also
Michigan.
Happens to be the pitcher, a former Dodger pitcher for
the Cardinals now. Yeah. So Dustin May is now the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, jumping from Michigan. I know we were always on this Vitello train of jumping from college to the pros. It's happened a lot in the NBA, but not that successfully, right?
Couple examples. I mean, Larry Brown, who knows? I mean, he coached so many places. Billy Donovan still in the NBA,
right?
Nobody, as far as I know, has won an NBA title. But yeah, Brad Stevens did a pretty good job with the transition.
Well, but what about Rick Pitino?
John Calipari?
What about Mike Montgomery?
PJ Carlesimo got strangled by Latrell Sprewell after he left.
Latrell Sprewell, literally like this.
Yeah, right.
And he was like, motherfucker.
But you're right that he'll probably but there's also what's his Morez. Who's there? There's a guy.
Morez, yeah.
And so there's a couple of Michigan guys, 3 Michigan guys that could go in the top 11. So maybe he gets one of those first.
How happy was Giannis that he got traded to South Beach?
Everybody's happy. I want to get traded to South Beach.
You do.
The Heat seemed like they gave up a lot.
They did. They gave up 3 first-round draft picks.
For a guy who played 35 games last year.
Tyler Hero, Jaquez, a few other guys.
Gave up a lot, man. I'd go to South Beach for nothing.
Remember when Joe Lacob was like, we want to stay flexible so we can make a run at Giannis?
Yeah. Didn't happen.
Yeah. Paul, before we get out of here, San Francisco 49ers, there's nothing happening really when it comes to the X's and O's of this team. But there's a guy named Brandon Ayuk who continues to post like a teenager who just went through a breakup. Last week he was posting Let's Go Commanders. The next day he's posting him playing soccer in the driveway, which raises an important question that I wanted to throw to you. Has any athlete ever destroyed his own leverage more than Brandon Ayuk? Who is joining Brandon Ayuk on the Mount Rushmore of self-inflicted career sabotage? Give me your first name.
That's a good question. So one, I'm not sure anybody's just given away all the money he gave away, right?
But career sabotage.
Oh God. Lance Armstrong.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Totally imploded his own career.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. He's on there. I got one for you.
And he only has one testicle.
Yeah. Let's see. There you go.
Yeah.
This is probably the Michael Jordan of self-sabotage, Antonio Brown.
Oh my God, Antonio Brown.
I mean, he was the best receiver in football. Yeah. He walked off the field shirtless and then never played again. I mean, that guy was radioactive.
How about as a 49er? How about I'll give you one.
Who?
He was only briefly a 49er. Remember Lawrence Phillips?
Lawrence Phillips. Yeah.
He's the only one that ended up dead in prison after killing his own cellmate.
But did he have a career?
I mean, he was great at Nebraska.
It's true. That's true. How about this one? Yeah. Johnny Manziel. I mean, that hurts because, I mean, the talent was there. Number 1 pick, partying, Vegas, immaturity.
I feel like he was having a good time. He also never really got paid the way I played. Here, I got one for you. OJ.
O.J. Simpson. It's great. Yeah.
Isn't he? I mean, he's got to be the gold standard, right?
Well, but also, you're talking about his broadcasting, his acting career.
Well, I guess he was out of the league.
He was out of the league. How about this one? Trevor Bauer.
That's a great one.
Well,
also, because he was one example of the Dodgers getting fucked by something.
Won a Cy Young, then everything blew up.
He tried to allegedly tried to eat a woman or something. He was a little like an Army Hammer out of in baseball.
The Army Hammer of baseball.
But you know what he did? An Army Hammer should do the same thing. He went to Japan. They were fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Japan's got a different take on eating raw stuff, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
What the fuck does that mean?
That was our 49er minute corner there. Paul, let's get into the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, baby. USA.
USA. USA. We'll be right back with Kirk Rudell. Paul, today's guest is one of our favorite recurring guests.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Former television writer on shows like Will and Grace.
Former. He's still a you might want to start that over.
Do you want me to start it over?
Start it over.
Well, no, I was talking about the shows being former.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Television writer on shows like Will and Grace and Spin City, but these days he's better known as the host of an American Game podcast and our resident soccer expert. Today, he's going to answer the big questions. Can the United States actually make a run? Is Poch a miracle worker? Who's overrated? Who's the dark horse nobody's talking about? And who's actually winning the thing? Let's find out. Welcome back to Beat LA, Kirk Rudell. Kirk.
Welcome, Kirk.
Lovely to be here.
Yes.
Here on the day that my career apparently ended. It's wonderful to start this new career as your recurring guest.
All you television writers that had a heyday, and I'll say that, a heyday.
Yeah,
you guys are
fair.
sensitive. You guys are sensitive. You get sensitive.
Coconut water used to flow like a river.
Yeah.
Right. And all the meals that you got for free.
It's this get off the lawn kind of thing, right? A little bit. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm just making stuff up here.
I mean, we'll start actually quickly with that. Kirk just came from
it was the service for Jimmy Burrows, the greatest television director in history, and someone I worked with for a couple of years, and just a warm, wonderful, insanely talented legend of television.
And you worked with him on
Will and Grace.
He directed every episode of Will and Grace.
Yeah, he was Will and Grace and lots of pilots, and he was just a lovely person, and so it meant a lot to just sort of, pay respects.
Do you have a good story on Jim? Like, what's like one thing you remember?
My thing with Jimmy was just that, and I would marvel about this sometimes with another television legend who passed away, Gary David Goldberg, who I worked with on Spin City, where I would look at Gary and go, like, you've made a fortune in this business. You don't have to be here, but you're still here because you love it, because you love being a creative person. You like being in the circus. And so being with Jimmy and watching him care so much about every stupid episode we did, every joke, it made it all feel more special that he was still invested in it. However, and if there was like a blow to a scene, the joke at the end of a scene, if you were at a run through and the blow didn't work, look, as the writers, we know when the joke's not working, and we know it's our homework. We're going to go fix it.
Yeah.
But Jimmy would make sure he couldn't. It was like a tick, where the scene would play, the blow would land, and then Jimmy would just go, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
That's great.
And then
that's great.
And we would and then moving on, and we go to the next set and the next scene. And it was just, he could not help it, because to him, all the jokes, it was music, right?
Yeah.
And if there was a note that was flat, he couldn't help but react to it. But it was also a motivation to not have that happen again the next day.
And make the rewrite go later that night.
Paul, I mean, I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I do like it when the blow works and the blow does land.
Oh, see, look at that. Does that get a bump?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we, you're here because you're our resident soccer expert. First question.
Sad. Only resident, I guess.
Yeah, right
Who
there.
signed this? We have a little soccer ball.
Okay, so that I brought not a gift. I brought a prop.
Yes.
That is signed by Tab Ramos, Tony Miola, and John Harkes.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 legends of U.S. soccer.
That's great. Is there no Brian McBride on there?
No Brian McBride.
No Brian McBride.
No Breck Shea.
Yeah.
There's a few people missing from that ball, but I got a big three for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Who wore this, the original denim, or not but they wore the denim kit back in 90.
For those watching, you are wearing a throwback jersey, 1994 kit.
The
of
denim
United
kit.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get into kits later.
But not just any denim kit.
Yeah.
A kit that you explain. It's got your podcast on. Why you're a
we got it.
soccer
We got
expert.
this one customized by Mike Mara, owner of the Soccer Post in Kearney, New Jersey.
There we go.
Available for all of your soccer needs.
Let's get to the World Cup here. First question. We're going to start off smooth. We're just taking off
So
here.
we're cutting all that. We're starting here.
We're starting here.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Starting here.
Fresh start. Yep. Good
Just
energy.
right out of the gate, 30,000 foot impression. Favorite thing so far? How you seeing this World Cup? Just, is successful so far? A lot of fun. Are you enjoying it? Cape Verde. What's your favorite thing?
Verde. Come on.
Sal.
Love it. Here's the thing. We can't forget that FIFA is a corrupt organization, and Gianni Infantino is allegedly a guy who loves dictators more than maybe anything except money. But
Because he fancies himself a dictator.
yes, and so here's the thing. So
dictators
you
like
can't
dictators.
forget that the sort of the organization behind the World Cup is gross. The visa issues, the Iranian team being stuck in Mexico because they're not allowed to stay here, the Iraqi guys being stopped and questioned for 7 hours, fans getting their visas canceled. The organizational stuff sucks. But here's the thing.
Give it to me.
The World Cup is amazing.
Yes.
It always is. And even the expanded field, which I was one of them, right? Saying people were like, it's diluting the field. It's ridiculous that Italy and Denmark aren't here, but Curacao and Cabo Verde are.
Yeah.
That's silly. It's not the best teams. But what I've come around to is the World Cup used to be the countries work hard to qualify to have a tournament, the best of the best, to see who plays the best soccer. That was the thing, or the best football, right? Which country plays the best football? Is it Brazil? Is it the flow of Brazil? The catenaccio of Italy? Is it what? It's never whatever, right? Who plays the best? That's not what it is anymore, and that's okay. What it is now is Indiana high school basketball tournament. It's March Madness.
Yes.
It's the FA Cup. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? Italy, sorry you didn't make it. That's not what it's about.
We also got 40 extra games, which is
for sure.
a great way to waste time.
No, I wish I could have applied to be that guy in the glass box in Times Square, getting paid to watch every single minute of the World Cup like a David Blaine magic trick. I think my favorite stuff so far has just been seeing how the Scotland fans think Boston is the greatest city in the world, and they're drinking all the beer in bars. I love how an Algerian fan is going into In-N-Out for the first time and getting their mind blown. How Norway fans are going into Bass Pro Shops and going, what the hell is this? And how South Korean and Mexican fans are solving world peace. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
It is a beautiful thing to watch. And look, and there is it's that old hacky line, right? But if you want to hate America, watch the news. If you want to love America, drive across America. But I think what's been great is the people are showing that we are not all our government,
right,
and that we are what we are. We're a melting pot immigrant country that welcomes visitors and is a pretty good place to have a hang.
Well,
and I think that's kind of cool.
And keep in mind, the last two World Cups were in Qatar and Russia.
Yeah.
So we're looking pretty good comparatively, aren't we?
We usually call this the big serve question when we have a tennis
Big
guest.
serve.
Yeah,
Big
but
serve.
now we're calling
Yeah,
it the 90th minute question. This is just a warm-up fun one.
All right.
Before we get into it, our 90th minute question today, gun to head, 90th minute, World Cup final, penalty kick to save your life. Anybody in soccer, who's taking it for you?
I'll get a couple that pop to mind.
Yeah.
Brandy Chastain.
There you go.
Because
I
we
love
know
that.
because we know she can do it.
Yes.
I'd say she could still probably do it.
Yeah.
I will say similar, Pietra Torden, who played with my daughter at Princeton and left to go to the NWSL and is now killing it for the Portland Thorns. Other than that, like, who with this World Cup? Like, look, he just missed one, but Harry Kane's generally been pretty lights out. So I think maybe Kane.
Can I throw something out there? Because I love that you know, and I love to pretend like I know stuff, which I do. Balotelli.
So great pull.
Yeah.
For the arrogance.
Yes.
Of course I'm not going to miss.
Yeah.
I mean, even look, I don't like him, but Cristiano Ronaldo gives you a pretty good chance of surviving.
That thing
because he's just such an arrogant guy.
That leg.
Who doesn't believe he can possibly miss.
You like to rip on Messi. So remember the last pod he was on?
I know.
And you said Messi was bad for MLS. I want to re-cue that. That got like 100,000 views. But Messi apparently is not good at penalties. He missed one yesterday. I think they said he's 3 for 7 in his World Cup life.
Historically, he's sort of average for an elite player, which is weird for someone who, again.
That's the only thing I could do on the soccer field because I couldn't do anything else. But maybe I might get lucky.
Right. Well, this brings up a great question because a lot of us tourist soccer fans and the experts as well, we always debate this when it comes to penalty kicks. Harry Kane missed that first one.
Yep.
And he did the sort of the stutter step. Yeah. And Thierry Henry always says when it comes to penalty kicks, pick a spot and go.
Yeah.
And do you believe that too?
I do.
Yeah.
But that's one of the big sort of splits in penalty takers, right? You just pick your side and go and bet that from 12 yards, if you place it right, because you're a pro soccer player and you practice a lot, that it doesn't matter if the keeper guesses right, it's going to go in. Or do you do the stutter and hope the keeper commits?
Yeah.
Right? And shows you something. And it's tough because as a keeper, standing still is wrong. Like as a top flight keeper, you're supposed to wait it out and look for any kind of cues and clues, right? A hip opens up or a foot or whatever. And so it's this gamesmanship of, well, maybe they're faking the hip opening up or maybe they're faking with the eyes. But there's a point when you're taking the kick where too much gamesmanship, as we saw with Messi the other day, throws you off a little bit. Right?
You know, it sounds like when you pick up a girl at a bar.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Like you're looking for those tells?
You're looking for the tells.
You're looking for those signs.
You're looking to see.
Which would make you a good penalty taker because I felt like you always
some drinks in me though because then you're not even paying attention.
It's the keeper,
you're just running right through the wall.
It's the keeper touching their hair.
Do you remember?
You're looking for those cues.
Well, that was probably always you. And you're a keeper. You're worried about your hair.
Well, when Paul would, you'd go out with Paula Jones like 10, 15 years ago. It was like he was taking a penalty and he was looking at the goalkeeper.
Sure. You made it sound like he went out with Paula Jones.
Paula Jones, remember her? She was great. One of the Mistress Hall of Fame.
One of the Clinton.
Paul across the room at Jones, stutter stepping his way towards the bar, waiting, looking for a sign. Which way?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the stutter step was: do I go back to the bar or do I talk to the girl? I had to make a decision.
Sure.
Often I went back to the bar. Anyway, enough about me. So let's keep talking.
Let's go. Let's just jump to the United States here. Let's just jump in. I don't think the United States is going to win the World Cup, but for the first time in my life, I think we're walking on in the field against elite teams expecting to compete instead of hoping to survive. And this feels different. Was Paraguay win the most impressive World Cup win you've seen?
It's tough. We beat Portugal in
2002. Yeah, right.
And we beat Mexico in the round of 16 that year. And then we played Germany in the quarterfinals. And Germany had a handball on the goal line that wasn't called that would have given us a penalty kick, and we could potentially have made a run to the semis. So it's tough. We've had some good, the Colombia game in '94.
Sure.
Where the own goal.
The U.S. beats Colombia again. And and we know a lot about that Colombian team and the pressure they were under, and they were World Cup favorites. Pele had picked them to win.
The other Escobar.
That's right. And so there was a lot.
I saw the 30 for 30.
And so there was a lot. So we know there was a lot they were going through, and that was tough too. But that U.S. team, that was a big win. But certainly Paraguay, huge win. Getting the result against Australia, fantastic. Can I give you the cynical other take on that?
We expect nothing less, Kirk.
We expect nothing less,
yes.
But we are thinking of renaming this pod the Slave to the Moment pod. So just know that.
I'll chime in after Kirk says it because I have some thoughts on this too.
Yeah. Talk to but give me
look. U.S. looks great.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the U.S. team.
Yeah.
I like this team.
Right.
They're talented. It's a diverse, talented team that is representing the full range of what it is to be an American, right?
Yeah.
Right, which I love.
Thought about that. Yeah.
And so all that stuff is great. The thing I bristle at a bit is the narrative that this is all new territory, that Pochettino has taught a land of ignoramuses how to play soccer and maybe appreciate the game. Pochettino plays into that narrative. Like, he's been asked about, there was an interview I read with him a couple weeks ago where someone was like, Germany, Brazil, other countries have soccer history. The U.S. has none. Do you feel, what's it like to be a founder? And rather than say, I'm not, I took a job with a country that's had the game for 150 years, that had the game before Brazil had the game.
Don't forget, Kirk hosts a podcast called An American Game.
Rather than take, 40 minutes and listen to an episode of An American Game available wherever you get your podcasts.
I think I listen to that actually before they go on the field every game.
For $7 million a year. Like, I don't know. And again, I like Pochettino. I'm a Spurs fan. I love him as a coach. I think the U.S. team, all right, I'm jumping. I would have loved it if he had had the humility to say, this country has a history. It's an honor to be a part of it, and not act like that, because what he was setting up before the World Cup was, if the U.S. hadn't played well, the narrative he was setting up was, I came to a country with no history. What was I supposed to do in a year and a half? These idiots didn't even know how to play. I did the best I could. It was too big a job. That is what he was setting up. And now he's going, you see what I did? And now here's my cynical side.
Wait, that wasn't before?
They've got two. No. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting warmed up. So what?
The LA podcast, the home of the egg. Yeah.
What we've gotten from the first two results are two really good halves. First half against Paraguay, first half against Australia. And halves that were so good, they put the games away. Second halves, lost the flow, lost the rhythm, lost control of the game a little bit.
Well, Pulisic got hurt.
Pulisic got hurt. And against Australia, they came out in the second half to be disruptive and to throw the rhythm off. My problem is, if you want to be an elite team, at some point, you have to be able to put your foot on the ball and complete 3 passes and impose your rhythm against the team that's trying to disrupt you. And I think the U.S. was unable to do that for most of the second half against Australia. Bob Bradley got the U.S. team in 2009 to beat Spain when they were the #1 team in the world. We've had good wins against top teams before.
But I would push back here and say, like,
this is our roundtable part.
Yeah, you're right about the history for sure. But I think right now, let's just lean into that sort of thing that Pochettino's doing. I think there's a different mentality outside of X's and O's. It does feel like they're freer the way they're playing.
Definitely his style is more fun as a kind of a layman fan.
What he's doing with Freeman and Dest and allowing them to pop up in spaces and Tillman has been fantastic, for sure.
I want to get your take on this because you know things. The biggest difference.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
So I think there's a couple of things I'd say is that the U.S. team. So the Paraguay game felt different to me as sort of a layman fan. I thought it was mostly a whole game. They also scored in ways they don't normally score, right? There were like world-class finishes happening. It was like I was watching a different team. Now, don't forget, Paraguay was 6th, the final team to get in from South America. So it's not like they beat Argentina, right?
But they did in qualifying.
They did in qualifying.
And Brazil. So Paraguay was a tough team. There was a good team to play against.
But I thought, anyway, there was just something different about that team. I also think that Pochettino, do we think that he says, because he looks like Russell Crowe, do you think he starts, it says unleash hell at the beginning of each game?
At my signal, unleash hell.
He doesn't seem to want to button his shirt up all the way.
No, it's a very resort wear kind of look, which I love.
Kind of an Argentinian shacket sort of look.
Yeah, no,
but to your Russell Crowe point, and I'm glad you brought that up,
Thank you,
Russell Crowe, I think he's the first manager who genuinely doesn't care about anybody's feelings when it comes to the narrative and sort of the history. And I think that's working for us. I mean, he's not trying to make any friends. He's trying to win soccer games.
Yep.
And that feels tangible.
I think that's 100% true. I think that, again, there's a jaded side of me that wonders if this same group of U.S. players might be just as successful with B.J. Callahan as the coach, who was an assistant coach for Greg Berhalter, is the coach of Nashville and MLS. He's a very talented coach. The issue is, I think they needed to get a Pochettino because he got the buy-in from the European-based players who wanted to feel special.
Yeah.
And they were like, if we're coming here to play for the U.S. at home, we want a $7 million a year coach with a European pedigree. We don't want an MLS guy who's been an assistant. You got to get us a name.
No, that's good. And think that's just, I mean, like maybe he was setting himself up to if the team sucked to have an excuse. But it's hard to have an excuse with this team. They have a lot more talent. All 10 of their starters are European-based players, right? The only guy who's not, ironically, is the goalkeeper, who was always the best guy we always had in the U.S. that kept us in games when maybe we shouldn't have been in games. And now we've got an MLS Harvard goalkeeper.
Well, you know what you just said made me think about Tony Vitello. I'm just taking a side view. Like
not Tony Miola.
Yeah, they wanted an actual manager who has some experience,
right?
Which hurts.
This is still a Beat LA podcast, right? Yes.
So the biggest difference, and I want to ask you if this is correct, the U.S. doesn't look as scared anymore in these games. And this is what people are saying. They're saying there's a higher press, more aggressive attacking, faster transitions, more confidence on ball. They look nastier and more physical. And a lot of players and pundits have pointed to Pochettino's aggressive mentality and this Premier League dark arts mentality.
Look, Tottenham, I'm a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
And when he came to Spurs from Southampton, he was big into aggressive counterpressing. So if you lose the ball, and he's not the only person who does this, but his system of doing it was very effective for them. If you lose the ball, your job is to try to win it back as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Put pressure on it right away. Ideally, you win the ball back, or you delay the other team from getting their own counter going. But the way he brings his players up offensively, and again, he's not the only coach who does this, but the idea is you position your players offensively so they are in good positions to counterpress if you lose the ball.
Yeah.
So you get that weird feeling sometimes of, do they have 12 guys out there? Because every time they lose the ball, there's like 2 guys nearby who are immediately pressing to win it back. And there's someone else covering the passing lane. And so watching the U.S. guys do that has been very reminiscent of some of those Spurs teams. And it's fun to see. It is fun to see them playing a little bit like a club team.
Did you, when we were watching the Paraguay game, and for someone who watches a lot of, obviously, every game in soccer, were you watching that game against Paraguay, and did you have a physical, like, wait, I see what they're doing, this is different? Was that feeling there, just in the tactically?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And look, and I like Greg Berhalter is obviously a very talented coach, but there were times when there were things he was trying to do to unbalance the other team that felt very rigid. And when it wasn't working, the team didn't seem to have a plan B to play out of it or get around it or deal with it. And what they're doing right now feels more, at least in the first halves of those games, more fluid. And watching Freeman and Dest playing off each other and sort of making runs inside and outside of each other, and the overloads that this team can create, the mismatches they can create, have been really fun to see.
I'm a big Chris Richards fan. He connected on every single pass in the first game against Paraguay.
He's great.
Yeah.
And he's got a Fletch leg throw, which I like.
You like that?
He's actually 6'5" with the Afro 6'9", pretty good dribbler, comes in deep. His club is behind by 1 point at this stage. Fletch comes in, puts the ball through the legs. What a great play.
Where does this end, Kirk? We're not going to ask you to predict. We're going to do that. Who's going to win the whole thing? How far does the U.S. go?
I mean, they are, I think you made a great point. They're not afraid of anybody. They look good. They're playing well. These are all guys. And even Pochettino was saying before the tournament, when they had a couple of bad results, well, none of them are top 100 players in the world, right? Like he was, but they are really good players who play in really good leagues and are not scared of being on the same field as these other players.
They're playing at home too. Don't forget.
And they're playing at home. And the U.S. fan base has been great. The support so far in L.A. and Seattle has been phenomenal, which was another narrative before this World Cup.
Right.
Pochettino complaining that American fans don't have the culture. We don't know what we're doing. And I think the answer was always give them something to cheer for. Right.
Can I say,
So
before you get to your thing about predictions, I think going into the World Cup, the narrative was, can we get out of this group? Paul, on our last pod, said he didn't expect them to win one game in the group stage.
So I'm the king of the neg, and it worked, man.
It did work.
It worked.
You reverse jinxed it, and it worked.
I reverse jinxed the fucking thing.
You humiliated yourself.
Thank you, America. Thank you.
I love when you get passionate.
No, look, this was not an easy group. The U.S. could have lost all of these games as easily as won them all.
Was like dark horse picked.
Right.
Even though they hadn't been in the World Cup since 2002, but
But now the narrative changed from can they get out of this group to can they get to the knockout?
Why are we
round?
not winning?
To now it's we're going to destroy Turkey, and it's the quarterfinals is expected now. There's those expectations on it.
Well, Turkey's a rubber match, which apparently means it doesn't mean anything.
A dead rubber.
Dead rubber.
I can't just get more. There's special condoms. I get off the internet. They numb your dick.
Dead rubber.
Oh, I know about dead rubbers. Yeah. Wait a second.
Holy shit. Just write dead rubbers on the board. I don't know where I'm going to find a clip for that one.
It's a weird. And by the way, and that's a tough one, and that's a little drag with the expanded field and this format. Is it's a game with no stakes, and so it's tough.
Hey, made the tickets go down to $1,300 a pop, so that's a fucking bargain, baby.
But let me maybe lead you to the answer here. Not lead you to what your answer is going to be, but okay. So let's talk about the draw first. We got the round of 32. Who do you not want to see? It feels like they're saying Bosnia is a 58%.
I mean, look, you want to avoid as long as possible of France and Argentina and England. The big Germany, although this is not the strongest German side we've seen.
Okay.
Don't tell that to Curacao.
I know it's not the strongest, despite the result today. It's a weird Portugal side.
Yeah.
And I think Roberto Martinez, I've heard him on interviews. He seems like a really nice guy. He's the guy who had the Belgian golden generation at a World Cup, and they never quite got as far as people expected them to. And I don't know. I don't know that anyone wants to play Portugal because they're so loaded individual for individual.
Let me throw this out here because you know these teams. We're going to play the third place finisher from one of these 5 groups. Okay. So which team you're like, yeah, let's play them and let's not play this team. So it could either be Bosnia, Qatar, Ecuador, Curacao, Tunisia, Senegal, Algeria, or Austria.
So, I mean, look, Senegal, you don't want to mess with.
You don't mess with those guys.
I watched that game yesterday. Yeah.
They're just good. It's Sadio Mane. Like they've
underperformed.
They won AFCON. Yeah. It was taken away from them, but they're really great. I mean, look, I think just out of that group, obviously, I think as brave as they've been, I mean, Curacao and Qatar in a second.
Yeah,
like, these are
sure.
I mean, again,
what about the Washington Generals? Are they available?
Yeah,
they are. Sure,
you want them.
Yeah.
Bosnia is going to have good fans. I don't know, like there are teams that can give you trouble. But then again, if you're looking at like, oh, that's a physical team, they'll get you on set pieces. Australia is a physical team that we were supposed to not be able to handle, and the U.S. did generally a really good job with them. So out of that group, there's no one who the U.S. on paper can't beat.
I like that.
And I feel good about when you start to get to, again, on their day.
Yeah.
Look at Cape Verde and Spain, right? Yeah. On their day, anyone can beat anyone. It's the magic of sport. So the U.S. beat Spain in 2009. Spain was the #1 team in the world. That was the height of Spanish dominance, and a U.S. team beat them. We can knock off anyone. We could knock off France on the right day. It's just over 90 minutes. Over 90 minutes, if you're rolling the dice, you don't love that matchup. You don't love Argentina as a matchup. So you want to save them to the semis.
All right, where is it? I want to hear his prediction. You're all about the fucking foreplay. I want to hear what's going to happen.
I know I'm leading to the foreplay because once you have
U.S. the quarterfinals feels like the like the floor for what this team should do at home with these players in this kind of prime.
Okay.
And then the question is, can you win a quarter? I mean, look, you still got to get to the quarterfinals and anything can happen. But if you get to the quarterfinals, can you win one game and get yourself in the semi? Can you get a semifinal at home? And now you go, well, why can't we make a final? It's just 90 minutes. 90 minutes of hell against England or Germany or Argentina, but we could do it. So that's always that's what's fun about tournaments.
On apparently the crappiest pitch, which is going to be at MetLife Stadium.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to best stadium.
Did you see me say pitch?
You did. I like it.
Look at you. I wasted a lot of fucking time in the last 2 weeks.
No, you did, and I love that. I love that.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
What's your prediction now after your big neg, which worked, and I know you were joking, but now that you've seen them, do you think, how far do they go?
So, I don't have the trained eye. I thought as much as we beat Australia, that looked a little bit more like old U.S. to me. If you look at the 2 goals, one was an own goal. One was kind of a fluky, should have been offsides, but wasn't offsides goal. Australia, I think, figured some stuff out about us. I think I also think that there's nothing worse than thinking you're good. And I think it's starting to get in their heads a little bit. And I think that the weight of expectations is heavy. And so what do I think? I think they go out in the 16s.
Listen, we're on our 66th episode. I've never felt more deep in the neg dungeon right now than being with the two of you guys.
I just said they won the round at 32.
I love USA. I'm a patriot. I'm rooting for this team. My only thing is like, sort of off what you're saying. Like, we haven't won anything yet. We had 2 good halves and got 2 good results. But to suddenly there's a lot of stuff like Pochettino has finally taught the United States how to play soccer. And it's like, we've won games before. Enough. Like, they were good results. They weren't full accomplishments. And I think Australia had the ball in our end a lot in that second half. Paraguay got a goal back when we kind of dropped and the counter-pressing got soft. And if you're up against Germany and you let it drop, if you're up against Spain and you let it drop, then you lose it. That's what happened, by the way, in 2009, we beat Spain in the semifinals of Confederations Cup.
Yeah, the Confederations Cup.
Right?
Yeah, leading up to the South African World Cup.
That's right. The final was against Brazil. And the U.S. went up 2-0 at the half. And then Brazil came back and won it 3-2. Heartbreaking loss for the U.S. A really good tournament. The U.S. looked really good. But I think, we look really good right now.
Yeah.
What we haven't shown is an ability to play that way for 90 minutes. And look, no team, France drops, everybody drops their level a little bit. Give me 80 minutes. What the U.S. has done has been like 55 minutes. And I think they've gotten away with it because the first halves have been so dominant. But for the knockout rounds, that's got to get stretched.
Yeah, I just think for the first time, and I watched a fair amount of soccer. For the first time, I really felt like this was a different team. Just the way we attacked.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, just curb your enthusiasm and not be so happy.
That's how you handle people. Get in that ass, Larry.
No, and I'm right there with you.
I'm so excited. No. Look, I'm excited. Look, they look good. When they go up, and it's like, oh my God, they're 3-0. That's amazing. Super psyched for them. It's great to see them rampaging and scoring good-looking goals. And it's lovely to see the U.S. team, like, again, inspiring kids, inspiring people. I love that part. I love hearing, like, oh, there's kids who are baseball fans who can't stop playing in the backyard and wanting to be Balogun.
Like Antonio Freeman's son, Alex Freeman. He's
I love that.
Isn't that great that
Antonio Freeman, yeah, that's right.
He's Alex Freeman's dad. Remember?
Yes.
And his son chose soccer.
Yeah,
I love that that's happening. Yeah. That there's heroes, Ricardo Pepi, and like that these guys are becoming heroes to kids who can see themselves in these players and want to be like these players. It's great for the game here. It's great for a lot of reasons. I just think like the narrative that we've never been here before or scored a good goal or looked fluid and attacking, is like, it's wrong. And I just want to like.
And if you'd like proof of that, tune in to American all your major podcasting outlets.
I think there's a way to appreciate what Pochettino's doing and what the team is doing without denying that we've had a history. And so like the goal against Colombia, like we scored some, we scored some good ones.
I went to the World Cup in '94. I saw Sweden against Cameroon.
That's what Cameroon was that was a knockout team back then.
At the Rose Bowl. Ooh. 94.
Oh, that's fun.
The Golden Lions, is that what Cameroon?
No.
Golden Lions?
No, there's the Three Lions, which is England.
3 Lions is England. They were the Golden something. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, wait, are you thinking of the Lion King? I will say this final thing about Poach. I wanted to say, did you see the
H? Ponch, like the guy from
Ponch
from fucking Chips.
I used to get Ponch a lot when I was acting. By the way,
he looks a little bit like Ponch.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did you watch the HBO doc with on the team?
Some of it.
Yeah, what I love though was Poach takes these losses very seriously. Like he cries in the locker room and he's very emotional and vulnerable, and I think that really helps.
For sure.
As well. All right, let's get to the fun stuff here because we got about 16 minutes left here.
Go.
All right. The most surprising player so far on the United States team. You're just like, wow, that guy's taken a step in these first 2 games and really kind of figured it out.
It's not a total surprise, but Malik Tillman being the all over the field destroyer who is just popping up everywhere and is like just unplayable right now. Like he's been really impressive. Freeman's a great story. I love Dest is hilarious. I love that guy. Like there's a lot of, everyone is obviously playing very well, but Malik Tillman is.
I wrote here, Malik Tillman suddenly turned into Kevin De Bruyne. Like,
sure.
Yeah, like what the fuck? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And Balogun's become Balotelli. I want to bring that name back again. Like his score, like a legit score.
Which is what
gets me so excited.
The U.S. did a big recruiting job on him.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they were hoping for, was like a world-class 9.
Yeah. How about you, Paul? Great. You Chris Richards? You're on the Chris Richards?
Chris Richards. Can I nag something real quick?
Yeah.
So the other thing we're not talking about is that Matt Freese has not basically stopped a goal yet. So like we don't know what kind of goaltender we have, right? And I think that could come back and bite us. That's
I like Matt Freese.
Do you?
We watched him in New England.
James Rodriguez, it's saved by Freese.
Yeah,
me and you. So he's good.
I think he's the dude wrote his senior thesis at Harvard on stopping penalty kicks.
Yeah, he's an Ivy League guy.
Penalty kicks.
He's an Ivy League like you.
I
think he's a weird goalkeeper, right? He's a weird nerd goalkeeper.
He's no Tom McCabe.
He isn't who is.
Yeah.
But I think I like his physicality.
Okay.
I like his cockiness. I think he's a smart keeper. And I think Matt Turner has been a good U.S. keeper and shot stopper, but there were just too many soft goals or, like shots he would stop, but he would push them out to the 6 and they'd be turned back in for rebounds. Just things where he wasn't cleaning things up. Where I like that Freese got the nod to be the starter.
I'm gonna watch for this because he hasn't been tested yet.
He hasn't been tested, but I don't think he shrinks from the challenge. I think he could be, if they need him to be a hero, I think he could be a hero.
Okay. Biggest fraud. Every World Cup has a fraud.
So mortgage bonds are dog shit. CDOs are dog shit wrapped in cat shit.
Yeah, that's right.
There's an overrated team. What's the team everyone keeps telling us is scary and actually isn't? The obvious answer to me is Portugal, but I think after 2 games, is it Belgium?
Sure. 100%. Belgium, it's tough. I think they're sort of in between generations, right? The Lukaku, De Bruyne generation is kind of aged out, but they still have a lot of talented guys on that team, and they're just scaring nobody. Yeah, huge disappointment. Uruguay.
That's a good call.
I mean, people were calling that. There was a lot of strife in the camp. Bielsa, who's a legendary coach, was not making people happy, right? There was like a rupture between him and Luis Suarez. But, I don't know. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of guys. I don't mind seeing Uruguay get knocked around a little bit.
Paul, you'll like this answer. The biggest fraud, overrated team? Maybe it's the United States.
Oh, wow. See, there we go. Call them out.
Spicy.
Could be.
Put that on a reel.
Could be, right?
Well, they were underrated. Now they're overrated. So maybe they'll end up somewhere in the middle.
Who's the one dark horse team that's no one's talking about that can win this thing? Give me a team that's no one's talking about. I think, could it be Norway? Maybe.
Look, that's the first thing that pops into my head too. I mean, they've gotten some attention because with Odegaard and Holland, it's hard to not notice them. But they're a really good team. I think in this format where there's more rest between games, I think that it levels the playing field a bit for the teams that are not as deep.
Okay.
So the teams,
but the rest starts to go away as you get more into the knockout round.
It
right?
does, but at this stage, you can keep people fresher. So I could be wrong about this, but like France has 2 full teams of starters basically who could be anywhere. But I think, and so a country that goes 13 deep doesn't get beat up as much in the group stage, and I think can stay fresher for the knockout to be more competitive with a country like France or Argentina, or that might go 17 or 18 deep. So Norway, I don't think anyone wants to play Norway in the knockouts either.
Well, Paul, you were telling me that you're a big fan of the Moroccan defense.
Well, Morocco got to the 3rd place in Qatar, right?
Look at you.
So
look at you.
Yeah. See, I know stuff.
You know stuff.
Yeah, that Holland guy does not look like a soccer player at all, but he's amazing.
Well, he looks like he should be in Gladiator 2.
So you know who I'm rooting for?
Tell me.
Norway. You know why?
Yeah, give it to me.
They have by far the best looking female fans.
Yeah.
I noticed that yesterday. I was watching the Senegal match, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Keep scoring!"
Yeah,
crazy Viking guys. So they cut to your fans.
Way to make it into the reel, Paul. Yeah, because that's right there. Hey, can I say it? You know, I said the biggest fraud, overrated team might be the U.S.
Yeah,
I will flip that and say biggest dark horse, United States too.
There you go.
United States too.
I don't even know. You're a fucking flip flopper. I have no idea what you're fucking.
I'm the John Kerry of this podcast.
It's hard to not see Argentina, France, Spain, England, Germany.
I mean,
somehow wedging into that Final Four. It's
historically,
very hard to put.
The team that wins is usually one of the big teams. Yeah. Occasionally, you'll get a Final Four team that sneaks in.
It's
right?
hard,
maybe like
it's
Morocco,
South Korea. Yeah. It's hard to butt into that foursome, and we haven't even talked about Brazil.
Right? Yeah,
where this is not a great Brazilian team, but they've still got, Vinny Jr. and they're coached by Carlo Ancelotti, and again,
that sounds delicious,
right? So
Carlo Ancelotti,
well, with a little Parmesan.
Hey, you know what? Like you were brought it up earlier, how this has turned into the March Madness.
Yeah,
Curacao feels like that 12th seed that nobody wants to play.
Sure,
do they have a shot of getting through after losing 7-1 to Germany?
They do if they win their next game,
right?
They win their next game.
I mean,
that
Cape Verde probably is going to get through,
right?
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
and again,
the Blue Sharks.
Look, this goes back to like old NHL stuff. You get a hot goalkeeper in the playoffs, right?
Particularly if she's Norwegian.
Yeah, if your goalkeeper gets hot and you're defensively sound, you can absorb a lot of pressure. One free kick, one counter, and you get yourself a goal. And so I think, but those teams will fall away. It's hard to imagine a Final Four that doesn't have one of the big ones in it, but that's why you play the games. You never know.
I'm you want to hear why I think so?
Absolutely. That's why.
Are we there yet? We're not there yet.
No.
Why don't you predict who's going to win?
I think it's France.
You think? Well, that's talk. That's the playing the field almost.
It's not playing the field. They're the best team, and they've got the most. They got the most scored. I just think that because they almost won it last time, right? I think Spain is going to wilt. I think that what happened in that first game. I think that Spain anyway, and they also just won the Euro Cup, so to win them back to back. How many teams have actually pulled that off? I'm not sure. Our historian may know that.
Yeah.
I think Messi's too old. I don't think Argentina. I think they're the best team. I don't know, sometimes the best team after
the best team wins.
Yeah, after 5 weeks of this shit. often what can happen because there are so many games.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you could argue that because there are 5 knockout games instead of 4, maybe it's a little bit more of a lottery. But at the end of the day, anyway, I just think
they're a crazy loaded team.
But also you love France. You like going there with your wife.
You do.
There's a
Paris
bias here.
Saint-Germain has won the Saint-Germain has won the UEFA Cup the last few years. Champions League, what the fuck it was?
Yeah.
PSG.
Something like that. See, I knew stuff. I was there last year for it, and it made it difficult for us to get to the Louvre. And my wife was very upset.
There was a little bit of a not scandal about that,
Yeah.
but like PSG just won, their entire front line is on the French national team. But so some people are like, just play them together.
Right.
Put Mbappe somewhere else or have him come off the bench if you need to, if it's not clicking. But how do you sit Mbappe? So, yes, that team is
Do you
loaded.
think Mbappe likes the Hanson song? Why, by the way, real quick, why did Pochettino not stay at Paris Saint-Germain for more than one season? Do you know the answer to that?
Because if there was an illicit affair that no one wanted to talk about.
Is that true?
Made that up. I just made that up. Yeah.
I as I recall, so the knock on Pochettino, great coach, but doesn't win the trophies. So with Tottenham, the team did not invest very much when he was there because they were building a new stadium. And so he was asked to keep running back the same squad year after year, which was not fair to him. But they didn't win stuff. They almost won the Premier League. They got to the finals of Champions League, but they didn't win. And I think that was always the knock is, he's a really good coach, but he hasn't won. So he went to PSG with all that money and all that backing. They won like the Coupe de France, which is like, whatever, you're PSG. Of course you're going to win that. But they did, the Qatari ownership wanted a Champions League. And so he had a couple of years there. I don't think he had the full buy-in from the Galacticos, and he didn't win. And that's why they brought Luis Enrique in. Who
I just love. Look at the fucking. He's just pulling names.
I think
this is like the thing from Key and Peele where they're just like making up names.
Sure.
Right?
Jack Marius Tack Theratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings Clyde, Coastal Carolina University.
The Jasper Probenkruk III.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think that was his thing is he didn't last because he didn't win the one trophy that mattered. Enrique came in and basically said to Mbappe, you will defer to the team or you don't play. And then was fine. And then under Enrique, Mbappe gets shipped out. They have they're still super loaded, but they're not a Galactico team. And they win twice in a row while Mbappe is hanging out in Real Madrid, watching that entire team disintegrate around him.
What I'm hearing, by the way, is this is a guy that maybe can get the U.S. to overperform or perform to expectations, but is not going to win the whole thing.
What I hear,
because he's never won the whole
is that what I've heard in NBA terms is that the offense that Poach runs is like a Mike D'Antoni, Phoenix Suns, 7 seconds or less, run and gun Jerry Tarkanian offense, which does not sustain for an entire season in the Premier League or in Europe, but for a 5-week tournament,
might be enough.
That might be enough.
Yep.
I want to finish this reading.
Sure, yeah,
I'm going to ask you, who's going to win it all?
I hate to come in. I hate to agree with Paul on
be the first time.
It's hard to not say France is your favorite. But again, someone bet $1 million on Spain beating Cape Verde
to win 85K.
To win 85K, and they lost.
And they lost. So you go with France too.
So, yeah, I think if I had to pick a team to win, you go for what's the most loaded team that has been there before. They have, a mission to get over the finish line this time where they didn't against Argentina. So, yeah, it's probably France.
I want to I want to be a guest on your pod. Ask me that question. What I think is going to win it all.
Who do you think is going to win it all?
I like to go with someone who hasn't won it in a very long time, the underdog. England, 3 Lions, baby. Harry Kane. Listen,
it's coming home.
Jude Bellingham, cut to the clip.
They're good.
Hey, Jude, Rashford. If Saka gets healthy, really healthy, watch out.
England's fantastic.
Yeah.
If they win, Harry Kane apparently is going to retire and become a field goal kicker for the New England Patriots. You see this?
No, is that what he said?
He worships Tom Brady and he wants to come to America and be a field goal kicker when he retires. Fuck the Messi MLS thing. He wants to come and like the guy in Dallas. He guess he was an MLS guy.
Look, England. The knock on England, right, is that they never win.
Yeah.
Right? They
No, we
always
know.
choke. They always go out.
They didn't win the Revolutionary War.
That's right.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Fucking still got scoreboard on them.
But there's a bunch of Arsenal guys on this national team who
Tom McCabe's team.
who just won the league, and Harry Kane has left Spurs to learn how to win at Bayern.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard. You can't have that 1966 history, wrapped around your neck forever. And
No way the fucking
England could
Knicks
do it.
win and then fucking England.
The English is, yeah.
That'd be big.
I mean, by the way, we haven't even talked about the Knicks. We don't have time. But
No.
New York guy.
No, we'll get there on the next spot.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, best stadium so far?
Guadalajara.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Azteca. Are you talking about Azteca or no? No, Guadalajara.
Azteca's Mexico
Holy
City.
crap.
Yeah.
I was not familiar with their game. It is Guadalajara. Look that up. That stadium is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the turf,
Just in general, I mean, it seems like Seattle's amazing.
Oh, Seattle's
SoFi
amazing.
looks great.
I'll say SoFi is great. SoFi is a beautiful freaking stadium. Seattle, I'd love to go see a game there. But if you're just looking for like, oh my God, what a beautiful place to go play, check out Guadalajara.
I saw some foreign fans that went to a SoFi match and they thought they were in a Marvel movie. They were like, "What the hell is this place?"
It's a crazy place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Best jersey, best kit so far, and I mean, I like Norway. Those guys, the all black away kits,
Yeah,
they look
that's
like
pretty
they're in
good.
a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yep. South Korea's got good ones.
Yeah, it got nice.
They're pretty.
Yeah, I like how they went off flag.
I'll say South Korea and Mexico, that game, I was like, two good kits.
Can I give you a reason why you guys might want to take back your France picks?
Yeah,
right
you haven't
now?
picked
Who's
yet,
going
have you,
down?
Matt?
Okay. France's away kit, they haven't worn it yet, might be the coolest jersey in the tournament. The away kit is mint green and oxidized copper, inspired by the Statue of Liberty because they gifted that to the United States. Is that the most outrageous flex of a uniform?
I want to see that one.
Yeah.
They ever going to wear it?
They're going to wear it in their next match.
They're going to wear it when they win the World
a
Cup.
Statue of Liberty oxidized
beautiful.
green kit.
Beautiful.
Should take when they leave, they'll take the trophy and the statue back. You're like, fuck you guys. You didn't earn this.
I thought that would really get your goat.
That's amazing. Well, they're very fashionable, the French.
They are.
Hey, what's the one headline at the end of this tournament?
World Cup doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good one.
We worry the human rights stuff, again, which were legit in Qatar, right? Like the human rights issues are always legitimate and real, and the politics are always part of the sport. That's just, it's inextricable. But the sport can transcend the community that we get from it, the joy that we get from it, can somehow transcend a lot of that stuff. And I think we saw it with the Knicks victory. And I think the headline at the end is, despite all of the conflict going into this World Cup that was all legitimate, like the Magic wins out again.
Well said.
Beautiful. I'll add one thing to that.
Yeah.
I know Kirk talks about the history of soccer and football as an American sport. I do think, as a guy who was here in 94 and is old, that this does feel like soccer is, I mean, what do you say? That it just feels like, I just feel like it's not just the World Cup. They talk about the halo effect and like what's happening.
It's way more baked into the country.
It's way more baked in country.
Yeah.
We don't feel like people hosting an event and just getting excited because there happens to be a fun event because America's like a good party.
Yep.
I feel like that actually, like North America and America specifically, feels like we're hosting a party that we actually should be at and know something about. And,
I agree.
And that's been fun,
For sure.
Yeah. We don't feel like tourists.
I think about 1 month from now, the headline's going to read, after the United States makes an insane run, is that Pochettino declines running for president of the United States.
There it is. That's the headline. You're right. The headline at the end is USA wins. Pochettino declines
Presidential run.
presidency.
Kirk, thanks for coming on.
Aw.
You're the best.
Nice to be here.
I'd love it. We have a soccer correspondent.
We do.
This is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Kirk. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man.
You're the best, Kirk. Thanks, buddy.
Paul, we're back. And hey, once again, Kirk threw down the World Cup knowledge. I feel smarter.
It's incredible. Anyway, Kirk's great guest. We love having him on. We love having a soccer correspondent. But he knows his shit, baby.
He's the Ken Burns of soccer.
Yes, he is. That's a good one. But I think he's a little more. Would Ken Burns have been so negative about Pochettino?
You know what? But that's the brand. Yeah. That's a little bit of the brand. Unless I get it, I got a chip on my shoulder about a lot of shit.
Actually, I'll take it back. So one thing I'll say about is that I think recency bias is a very real thing in the world with social media, with everything. What are you doing? And I love that Kirk brings historical perspective into this stuff.
1,000%.
Right. Slow your fucking roll. Nothing new is under the sun. Everything has happened before. It's just a different version of it.
I think my thing is the story's not over, and I get it. Right now, it's like Hulk Hogan coming to the ring in 1989 with the United States. Let's just lean into the narrative until, the brakes are pumped.
Yeah.
So
it's fun. Anyway,
it's a lot of fun.
We're nothing if not homers. We're USA homers, and we're Giant and Niners and Warriors homers.
I want to rename this pod "Slave with the Moment," slave to the moment, baby. And I wanted that jersey. That jersey was delicious.
It was delicious. The denim.
Yeah.
And the 22 was not for Alexi Lawless. It's his daughter.
Yeah.
Kirk's daughter plays on the Princeton soccer team. Esme, she's an amazingly talented, cool Princetonian undergrad now. And Kirk got that number in honor of his daughter. So,
do you think you redeemed yourself from your takes, your World Cup takes last week or 2 weeks ago?
Matt, I did it for the good of Team USA. You got to ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I went full fucking neg, and look where they are now.
You know what? I'm going to go full disclosure and tell everyone how the sausage is made on this podcast. Paul texted me after the game against Paraguay.
Can we cut it?
He goes, can we cut my take? Because I got the egg. I'm just wiping the egg off of my face. And we kept it in.
We don't want to hide anything from our fans.
Paul, we're in the home stretch here. Any pet peeves or pet pleasures? We're going to fire through this week.
I'm going to get flowback for this, Matt. Can I do this?
If you want. Okay.
I don't think that I'm tired of the Williams sisters getting wild cards. Now Serena's getting a wild card in the Wimbledon. I just you want a lot. I play. This is not specific to her. Roger Federer wanted a fucking wild card at Wimbledon. I'd say that's a bad idea too. It's like, just leave it. She's 44 years old. She's doing an ad for Roe and GLP-1s. Her husband is on the board of Roe. I don't know. The whole thing you've got this amazing life. Stock goes, you don't need to play tennis anymore.
I get it. It's kind of like Larry Holmes coming out to fight like a boxer coming out. But okay, that's a great point because I feel like there's an angle there. But what if she gets to the quarters? Like, what if she makes a
great
run?
story? Look, I love old people, old athletes like myself. I don't know, man. There's something about it that feels weird. When it's the greatest of all time, the whole thing, Borg walked away at 27. I wish he'd played longer, but he walked away at 27. There's something about the memories of these people. Like Willie Mays. You don't watch Willie Mays playing 73 for the Mets, right? When he couldn't make it around. He couldn't make it around the outfield, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels there's something about it that's bothering me.
Well, remember there was that old timers league. Remember that old timers league? There were professional old timers league that they had.
But there was a Champions League in tennis for a while too, where these guys would go and play. These guys are retired guys. Great. Look, I get it. By the way, it's probably be an amazing story, and I feel like an angry guy saying get off my lawn. But there's just something about it. It's one thing for her to play doubles with her sister, but to be able to get into Wimbledon on a wild card when you're 44 years old.
I mean, if anybody gets in, it's her. That wild card.
Okay, I will contradict myself quickly. You win the Masters, you get to play for the rest of your life.
Sure.
Right? And you could be a 60-year-old guy. Fred Couples will play the Masters until they're rolling him out there in a wheelchair. So I just talked myself out of it, Matt. But go get him, Serena.
But Paul, you bring up a really good point. I was texting with a buddy this week about the U.S. Open for golf.
Yeah.
And my buddy's an avid golfer, huge fan. And he's like, this leaderboard is so boring. The game is so boring. Wyndham Clark is getting booed because he's such a jerk, apparently, on the tour.
Because he broke a locker. Who gives a shit?
But in general, he's surly. There's no personality. And what he was saying,
died when he was young. I'd be pissed too.
But let me get to my point here is that there's no Bryce Shambo. There's no Koepka. There's no rivalry. There's no personalities. Right now, PGA is really bland. And they could actually use some help from how tennis, I feel like tennis is in a real nice phase where storylines, people like, whether you agree with it or not, Serena coming back, there is just a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of personalities. There's rivalries. And golf right now is lacking so hard in that area.
This was a great, we've turned a little bit of a tennis pod. We're going long. I'm going to stop right here. But that was a good counterpoint on tennis there. I actually have been convinced, Matt, this is good for tennis. People are talking about tennis. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm talking about I called you a flip-flopper earlier. Look at me.
And look at you. And then who knew that you were a Wyndham Clark fan? And you know why? Because
I don't like Wyndham hotels though. Those things
That's
suck.
what I was saying, because you had that card for a while with the Wyndhams.
No, that's not 5-star enough for my wife.
I got a quick pet pleasure, and I didn't even know this until like 2 hours before I came here.
Yeah.
Did you know that MLB, Major League Baseball, is doing a draft combine?
No.
I don't know if this is their first year. I was watching a little bit on the MLB network. NFL has it. NBA has it. No one really watches it. But Major League Baseball is like, let's do it for us. It was fascinating. They're running drills. These shortstops are throwing 97 from the hole. They have, it's almost like the home run derby.
You've been known to throw 97 from the hole.
Hey, baby. Yeah. It's like the All-Star Weekend, but for these college prospects and high school prospects.
Wow. I had not heard.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
Fun.
Yeah, man. Real fast, folks. Best things we saw. And I have something for you and your lovely wife. Because you guys are such horror aficionados. It's still in theaters. I went last week to a 10 o'clock show on a Wednesday. The place was packed.
Back rooms?
Last week you were talking about maybe I need more of a communal experience.
Yeah.
I went to see Obsession.
Oh, Kristen's all excited about this.
Paul, it was so much fun. I'm so impressed. They did this for $750,000, a 26-year-old filmmaker. It's really good. And I'm in there with my fingers over my hands, hidden under my seat, punching my buddy, and people are screaming and laughing. It's a really good film. Wow.
Okay. Great.
So hey,
I'll maybe return to the movie theater one of these days, and because it sounds like I shouldn't watch that on an airplane. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. No. You shouldn't. Yeah. Go to the theater.
Okay.
Go to the theater with your wife. And also, season 2 of The Agency is back, folks. If you missed that on season 1, it's on Paramount Plus. Michael Fassbender and Richard Gere, CIA. It's fucking great.
I didn't get through season 1.
Oh, really? Well, but we always disagree.
I know.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright.
No, it's a great cast. I wanted to like it. I don't know what happened. Something happened. I got distracted.
All right. Paul, you got anything else before we wrap this baby up?
So I just watched the pilot, and I'll have more next time. I just watched the pilot for Widow's Bay on Apple TV, and I will say I liked it. Did you watch it?
I watched the first 2 episodes, and it didn't do it for me, man.
Okay.
And I love those creators, Hiro Murai, that whole team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll let you know. We're going to make it to episode 2. I mean, it's kind of a comedy horror thing.
Yeah.
So maybe, you need to see that with an audience, because maybe you missed some of the humor, Matt.
Something just came to me.
What's
I think that the mayor in that show is a microcosm of how you might be if you were a mayor of a small town also.
I'd be such a good mayor of a small town.
You think, yeah?
Is that because in that pilot, he basically sits in the restaurant and he just drinks scotch like the whole time as he's freaking out, and at the end he yells at them when they bring him his bill?
Yeah, because like everyone's just like this like down home folks, and he's trying so hard to make it work, and no one's listening to him.
Right.
Yeah. So
Matthew Rees.
Yeah.
He's Welsh. I didn't realize that. And his partner is Kerry Russell.
You got to, speaking of the Welsh, you got to wear your kilt on this pod.
That's not Welsh. That'd be Scottish.
I know.
I should, Matt.
You should.
The only problem, you don't wear underwear with that, and the way we sit.
Yeah.
You might have to bleep it
Heater.
out.
You got a heater. Yeah. Cleveland Steamers. Folks, thank you for listening to the Beat LA podcast. We really are happy that you joined us. As always, Paul, we're gonna get after it tonight.
And we are at Pawn Shop USA, and Beat LA.
Beat LA.